Hi, Brazil needs help. Presidential election is just around the corner, and I beg the world for help. I have a 5-year-old son, and that's the most important reason I'm asking for help. Brazil needs the world to say that socialism and dictatorship is a real flop. As a Brazilian citizen, I felt I should speak up to the world and say we must be good example of honesty and great principles. Brazil election is so important because 17 of the population is younger than 12 years of age, and election will define what legacy will be inherited by our children and grandchildren. Reason our election matters to the world is not just because Brazilian democracy is in danger or our economy in Brazil may get deteriorated like in surrounding countries, Venezuela or Argentina. It is not just because heavy corruption cases will get infiltrated back again in Brazil. For many reasons, Brazil election matters, but there is one I must highlight. Brazil is one of the top four largest global food producer. Maybe billions of people throughout the world are fed by the food produced in Brazil. October 30th, Brazilians will go to the polls to elect the next president. It will be a real milestone to the country that will define if Brazil keeps moving forward or if it will go back to the past but live in a world totally different than 20 years ago. On one side, there is a candidate sentenced to 12 years in prison for corruption. He became eligible to run the presidential election by a juridical maneuver never seen in any democracy in the world. This is not disinformation, this is true. On the other side, our actual president running for his second term, who sometimes may not say the brightest sentences or jokes, but he's a president who has taken Brazil to great heights. Brazil's economy has overcome the actual world crisis. Numbers now show that Brazil is going against the inflation caused by the pandemic and the war. Jobs opportunities are high in Brazil. Country is so big and well managed that major world catastrophes can even hurt Brazil a little. It is a lie our president is a threat to democracy and the environment. His actions are the major proof of that. Next election in Brazil matters because it will define if crime and corruption does or does not pay. Electors will decide if corruption is forgivable against the bad sentences and jokes spoken by the president. The electors will decide if more or less taxes are worth, if more or less control of the media is needed, or more or less bureaucracy, if more or less entrepreneurialism is better for the country. Most important than the election is the risk to compromise the sense of judgment of an entire young generation. We do not know if you will be proud to look face to face with our children and tell them crime does not pay. Brazil must not give the opportunity to socialism and communism and afterward go to work and live normally as nothing has happened or changed. We cannot go back and think future will be just like the illusory past Brazil had during the former inmate presidency. If Brazil gives socialism another chance, next generation will be sacrificed. Values and attitudes will be unacceptable for those who is expecting a bright Brazil for the children. This is 2022, not 2002. In the name of democracy, we need to keep the criminals, an inmate far away from crime scene. We beg the world's help to do so. We need the world telling Brazilian population that a civilized and free world is way much better than an oppressed one. Please, we need help.